Lumiya is one of the most intriguing characters introduced in the original Star Wars title. In her first mysterious appearance, she is billed as a Dark Lord on the cover, but did not quite live up to that moniker just yet. It was her second story arc where the character truly shined when her shocking identity was revealed. She has subsequent smaller appearances in the title, but unfortunately, it ended before Lumiya reached her full potential. In this video, we are going to examine her early appearances in the Marvel title and delve into why this character is fondly remembered by fans. Figurehead from Star Wars number 88. Princess Leia and Mon Mothma arrive on the planet Herdessa to negotiate with their leaders now that the Empire has been overthrown. As Leia is stepping off their spacecraft, she is verbally assaulted and pelted with mud by a couple of individuals in the crowd. The guild leading the delegation from the planet have hired a cyborg named Lumiya to oversee security, and Lumiya sends her subordinates into the crowd to catch the assailants. Later, Leia and Mothma are being regaled by the leaders of Herdessa, and once Leia realizes negotiations won't begin until the next day, she excuses herself to go for a walk. Accompanied by C-3PO and R2-D2, Leia confides in the pair that she is not sure she is cut out to be a diplomat anymore after her time in the rebellion. They come across Lumiya mistreating one of the offenders who threw the mud earlier, and learns the penalty for the transgression is death. Leia objects and insists the prisoner be freed, but Lumiya strikes at Leia, allowing the female culprit to escape. Lumiya is about to shoot the fleeing suspect, but Leia intercedes, knocking Lumiya to the ground. Leia then races after the female while Lumiya shoots at her. Lumiya shooting from her hands is reminiscent of another cyborg, Valance. Leia catches up to the female, who is with a group of armed individuals, and learns her name is Suzu. The people gathered have a legitimate grievance against the guild due to the class warfare they are perpetrating on the citizens of the planet. Suddenly, the planetary guard led by Lumiya arrive and a firefight breaks out. The group is quickly overwhelmed and Leia escapes. Leia tries to get help, but the citizens are fearful to intervene. She eludes her pursuer and heads back to warn Mothma of the situation. As Leia hides in nearby bushes, she sees her delegation being taken away in handcuffs by stormtroopers. Suzu catches up to Leia when Lumiya announces to the population that Princess Leia needs to be turned over to the guild or they will begin executing prisoners. Mon Mothma launches into a speech about freedom when the other mud-throwing individual begins to fight with a stormtrooper. Lumiya picks him to be executed first, but Suzu appears and tells the guard Leia is back in the bushes. The guard and stormtroopers enter the foliage to apprehend Leia, but she emerges from another hiding spot and shoots Lumiya, whose armor explodes. Just then, the guards appear and another firefight breaks out. This time, the prisoners are joined by other citizens, and they quickly defeat the guards and stormtroopers. The story concludes with Mon Mothma telling Leia they need to leave to warn the alliance of the Imperial Remnant reconstituting themselves with oppressive governments. Hidden nearby, Lumiya watches, vowing to get her revenge. We know later in the expanded universe, Leia does embrace her position as a leader in the New Republic, but for the remainder of the original title, she walks a line between diplomacy and fighting with a strong leaning toward the latter despite Mon Mothma and Admiral Akbar pushing her to step up as a diplomatic leader. As for Lumiya, she is called a Dark Lord on the cover, but her actions inside the issue do not live up to the expectations. She is recently hired as head of planetary security on Herdessa and is shown to be a cyborg, wears armor from head to toe, and sports a cape. It takes more than mechanical parts and similar clothing to replace Darth Vader. It is a distinct look, however, and it is clear from the cover blurb and the story's conclusion that the writer Joe Duffy has big plans for this character. In Lumiya's second appearance, she duels with Luke Skywalker, easily defeating him. No Zeltrons, Duel with the Darth Lady, and Escape from Star Wars number 95 through 97. On the opening page of Star Wars number 95, Lumiya and Nagai Den are interrogating the Alliance scout named Farron after having killed the other 19 members of his team. Lumiya mentions she has masters and is looking for Princess Leia. The prisoner says he doesn't know Leia's location since his orders came from Commander Luke Skywalker, and Lumiya recognizes the name. Later, Luke Skywalker, Danny, and Kiro travel to Kinnuine to uncover why the uninhabited planet has mysteriously registered life forms and what happened to the reconnaissance team Luke sent to investigate. Luke sets up camp near their spacecraft while Danny and Kiro wander off for some alone time. As they are walking, Danny hears something and the pair are attacked. Luke is back at the camp when Kiro returns and his faceplate has been shattered. Luke drags Kiro to the water and Kiro asks Luke to save Danny. After Luke has tended to Kiro's wounds, he goes to find their missing comrade. On a cliffside, he is confronted by Lumiya, who wields a light whip, and the two begin dueling. Luke is unaccustomed to this type of attack and he is quickly overwhelmed. The final page of Star Wars number 95 shows Lumiya looming over an unconscious Luke Skywalker. The cover to this issue shows Lumiya as she appears in Star Wars number 88, but inside she has a completely new, sleeker outfit. Her hand blasters have been replaced by a light whip. This new look plays to artist Cynthia Martin's style. I like Lumiya's original appearance, but there is no denying that the new outfit is even better. Star Wars number 96 is titled Duel with a Darth Lady, and the opening 7 pages expand on Luke's duel with Lumiya, shown in the last issue. Cynthia Martin's dynamic style is unleashed on these pages, easily the best artwork of her run on the title. After Luke's defeat, he is taken back to a base somewhere underground as a prisoner. As Lumiya and Den are talking, we learn that Lumiya has dealt with the rebellion in the past and has a hatred for Luke in particular. Lumiya also explains her whip is made up of both energy and metal tendrils, which is why Luke was defeated. The Nagai are sending a fleet to this planet and have established small footholds throughout the galaxy. They both enter a room with Farron and a captured Danny. Farron is now subservient to Lumiya and Den. Den asks Lumiya for Danny so he can learn more about her species, and Lumiya does not object. Back at camp, Kiro boards their spacecraft and fashions a helmet for himself and grabs extra gear they may need. He then infiltrates the underground base guarded by the Nagai. He frees Luke, and Luke uses the gear Kiro brought to fashion another saber made of solid metal infused with an energy pack. Later, Luke and Kiro find Lumiya on the cliffs. Luke is able to use the Force to retrieve his lightsaber from Lumiya's belt. Luke now has 2 sabers to counter Lumiya's light whip. During the battle, Luke is about to mention Lumiya's name, but she angrily tells him to not call her that because she doesn't exist anymore. During their clash, both Lumiya's light whip and one of Luke's lightsabers are torn from their hands. Lumiya charges at Luke, and Luke slashes at Lumiya, cutting away her headgear and revealing her scarred face. Lumiya is revealed to be Shira Bree, now a cyborg due to the mechanical parts needed to keep her alive after Luke shot down her TIE fighter way back in Star Wars number 61. The issue ends with the Nagai fleet appearing over Kinnuine. The fan favorite Shira Bree is now back, but she has a huge grudge against Luke Skywalker and the Alliance of Free Planets. Like Anakin Skywalker, she assumes a new name for herself, Lumiya. If you want to learn more about Shira Bree's past, please watch my other video, Shira Bree Imperial Agent. I will leave a link at the end of this video. With this issue, Shira Bree, or Lumiya, has cemented herself as the most substantial character from Marvel's original run. In Star Wars number 97, the invasion forces are disembarking from their ships. The personnel is made up of both Nagai and remnant stormtroopers intent on establishing a stronghold on Kinnuine to attack the Alliance from. This small expeditionary force is a prelude to a full invasion by the Nagai from another galaxy. Luke, Kiro, and the captive Lumiya are hiding nearby and learn where Danny is being kept by Den. Back at the underground base, Den is analyzing Danny to learn more about Zeltrons. The machinery is hurting Danny, and Farron is about to attack Den to free her, but Den throws a knife that tears through Farron's body, killing him. Back at their spacecraft, Luke secures Lumiya while Kiro refreshes his water supply. Before the pair can depart to rescue Danny, a Nagai scout party appears. Luke uses the Force to cloud their minds, but Lumiya's shouting causes them to snap out of it. Kiro quickly dispatches the 3 Nagai before they can act. In the underground base, Den has finished his analysis of Dani and gives her a flower he found on the surface. The flower symbolizes Den's admiration of Dani's beauty and strength. Den has a weird fascination with Dani that continues into the final issue. When he leaves the room, Kiro appears and Dani is overjoyed. Kiro begins leading her out of the base and back to their ship. Outside the base, Kiro and Dani run into Den, who is holding another flower. Kiro attacks Den and they both fall off the cliff into the water. Luke arrives after having sabotaged the base's computer system and stealing a data module for the Alliance. He and Dani look for Kiro, but they only see blood in the water and no trace of either Kiro or Den. Luke suggests Kiro may have returned to the ship, so they head in that direction. When they reach the ship, Lumiya has been freed and the flower Den has been holding is lying on the ground. The Nagai invading from another galaxy is reminiscent of another invasion that is told years later in the New Jedi Order novels from Del Rey. There are lots of differences between these two invasion stories, chief among them being the Nagai are working with the Imperial remnants, where the Imperials were enemies of the Yuuzhan Vong. Luke tries to reason with Lumiya, but it is clear she has nothing but intense hatred for him. I'm honestly surprised she didn't just kill him when she defeated him the first time. In this story arc, we learn why Lumiya was referred to as a Dark Lord on the cover of Star Wars number 88. Shura Bree was trained as Darth Vader's apprentice, and she views herself as his heir. This character is so full of potential, but unfortunately, as we will see, the title ended before it is realized. First Strike, and all together now from Star Wars number 100 and 107. Lumiya has a small role in the story from double-sized Star Wars number 100. When Han Solo asked about Luke's second lightsaber, Luke explains that he needed it to beat Lumiya on Kinnuine because she was using a weapon that contained both energy and solid matter. Later, Endor is being attacked by the Nagai, who have dispatched a small force to the moon while a much larger fleet is engaged with Alliance pilots. Lumiya is leading the aerial attack, and, because of a spy within the Alliance ranks, the Nagai are winning. Lumiya is sporting a different headpiece, this time a cross between her original helmet from Star Wars number 88 with a chainmail hood. Later in the story, the Alliance learns about the spy, so their pilots change tactics and the tide of the space battle turns. Lumiya recognizes this and orders a retreat of the Nagai forces. Shura Bree was an excellent pilot, so Lumiya leading the Nagai forces makes sense here. Lumiya's final appearance in the title would also be the last issue, Star Wars number 107. The Nagai and the Alliance are now allies. The Toph have begun their invasion of the galaxy and have set up their main base on the planet Seijo, located on the galactic rim. The Supreme Commander of the Toph's forces, the Crown Prince Sereno, has made the planet his personal base, which the Alliance knows thanks to a spy they have in the Toph's ranks. Our heroes are sent to the planet to infiltrate the base and capture the prince. Lumiya is there after having abandoned her former Nagai allies to join the Toph in eradicating Luke Skywalker and the Alliance. Nagai prisoners are brought before Prince Sereno, but one is Knife, who kills his captor and holds a blaster on the prince. Lumiya shoots and stuns Knife, but our other heroes reveal themselves in the commotion. The prince's guards are quickly overwhelmed, and Lumiya decides to kill Knife for betraying her. Princess Leia intercedes and disarms Lumiya, who uses the Force to take the weapon out of Leia's hand. It's interesting that this is the first and last time we see Lumiya using the Force in the title. Lumiya may have been using the Force in earlier encounters with our heroes, but in comics full of thought balloons and comment boxes, it is never pointed out to the reader if she was. As Lumiya prepares to kill Leia, Lumiya is shot by a surprised assailant in the room. Dressed as a Toph is Han Solo's childhood friend Bay, the Alliance's spy. With the prince captured and Lumiya defeated, the Alliance has won. Lumiya's inclusion in the final issue is proof that writer Joe Duffy had plans for the character, but unfortunately they were cut short. There is no doubt that if this title hadn't been cancelled, Lumiya would have continued to be a thorn in the side of Luke and the Alliance. It is clear that Lumiya's indoctrination by Darth Vader is driving her actions against her foes. Lumiya's relationship with Darth Vader is explored later on in magazines, and she would also be the antagonist in the first 5 books in the Star Wars Legacy of the Force novels from Del Rey. In that series, she is instrumental in Jacen Solo killing Mara Jade and taking up the mantle of Darth Caedus. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe so I can bring you more content, and please leave a comment below.